expecting that, were you? No, you weren't. And rightly so. Lighting's going to be a bit gangster. It's going to be a bit hit and miss. It's been so long since I've done this. I've forgotten how I set things up, and fucking hell, what a faff. Anyway, cheers, Stuart. This one's for you, mate. Cold one. Oh. Yeah, cold one on this Indian summer day. It's absolutely roasting. What about if I put that there? I just look like I'm in a cave if I like uplight myself. There's not a lot of downlight. What about if we open this a bit? What about if we open this a little bit? Is that better? Yeah, that's a bit better. Put that back over there. You see, these are the things that you kind of worry about. I'm blind now because I've stared into that fucking light. These are the things that you worry about. Which you shouldn't really, because, you know, the entertainment value of this thing is rock bottom, isn't it, really? But hello, yes, what about this for an Easter egg? Bonus footage. And yes, I know what you're all saying. I know. Those of you that haven't fucked off, those of you that are not the 100 that count, that have followed me across to the new channel, where that's surviving, that's going to stay there, it'll be where it'll be, inside my own head. Because technically, if you think about it, it's too much like that now, isn't it? Ooh, do me. Technically, right, Cojones del Oro is still inside my head. He's still inside my own head. So, it's part of me. It's part of me, and it always will be. So, still gaming. As you can see, the setup's not changed much at all, actually. Yes, things have been sold. And yes, things have been bought. And that's the thing. And I think if you understand that, then you'll stop chelping about people that buy and sell, because you all do it. We all do it, it's a thing. Some do it more than others. You know, some don't sell at all. Well, I don't know how they do that, but God, it's sweating here. You enjoying this Indian summer? It's fucking roasting, absolutely roasting outside. And the reason I'm here is because, no, I wasn't inundated with begging letters or, you know, people threatening to commit suicide because I'd shut Cojones del Oro down. But because a few people, and these are the people that matter really, as I say, the 100 that kind of follow me around the tubes wherever I might go. This is for you, because you requested it. You said, oh, we need to pick up video, Darren, we need to pick up video. Because I'm on Instagram, again on under Inside My Own Head, I've been putting pictures up of the stuff I've been buying. And it's stuff that I didn't own before and stuff that I did own before. And again, you can say, oh, you fucking buying it. I've never understood why we get so much grief over that. Why it is a thing. We know it is a thing. We've all done it. If we're honest, we'll hold his hands up, and to a greater or lesser extent, we've all bought and sold stuff and then rebought it. We have. I don't care who you are. I think it's a part of the hobby. I do. I think it's a part of the hobby, and as a collector of things, you know, there are some other things that I've collected in here that aren't video games, but they're in my nostalgic area. My nostalgic area. So there's movies I've bought on Blu-ray that I owned before on VHS and DVD, and I've gradually upgraded. I can't help but look at the screen above this Canon. I've got to remember to look at the lens. So there's guitars in here that I had back in the day that I've rebought because they mean something to me. You know, it's all about that nostalgia. It's all about that, isn't it? And nostalgia can be things. It can be places. It can be music. It can be all manner of things. Nostalgia. And it's not, like I say, Cojones del Oro went down because I got bored of that content. I got bored of creating this type of content. Exactly what you want, you know, what you're after. Maybe there should have been just a rest period. I'm not saying I regret doing what I did, because at the time, I felt like it was the right thing to do. And here he is, right on cue. You wanted it, here he is. Come on. He's a bit mardy because he had to go into the cattery, didn't we? We had to go to the cattery for a couple of days. Yeah, we went on holiday and he had to go away, did you? And now you're here begging food. And it wouldn't be a Cojones del Oro video without TC, that's for certain. Yes. Plumes of fur and lots of spitting and shouting. And I'm not on the floor, so you can't bite my feet. We found a loophole. Can't bite me from down there, can you? He's been all lovey-dovey since we rescued him back from the catch. He was only there 2 days, but he don't like going in there. But I wouldn't leave him at home. And my mum offered, sort of said, oh well, we'll come round and feed him and that. He's going to jump up there now, isn't he? Yeah. What's up? You wanted to get on your cushion? Because I've got the gaming settee in here now, across from here. He sleeps on the cushion. He's like looking. I can't turn you around because he's the lights on the cushion. Sorry, mate. You're gonna have to wait, aren't you? You're gonna have to wait. So yeah, I wouldn't put that on anybody, you know, to look after him. I wouldn't want that responsibility myself. I think I'm gonna let a bit of light back in here because there's lights all over the place. I wouldn't put that responsibility on anybody else. You know, he's my lad. He means the world to me. And if anything happened to him while I was away, I would never forgive that person. So yeah. We put him in the catcher. He goes to jail for a couple of days, but he's safe, isn't he? Yeah, so Cojones del Oro. I've not stopped gaming or collecting, but I kind of got bored with that content, generating that type of content. And although I regret losing, say, the Meet the Tubers, that was a long series. I ran that for a long time, probably the most successful series that I ran on the channel. I did upset some good close friends, you know who you are, by just pulling the plug all of a sudden. But you know, I'm not gonna talk about mental health. But there may have been some of that going on in the background, and yeah, regrets. I have a few, and that's one of them. But we'll move forward. We'll move forward. I'm always here. I'm always inside my own head, you know. So I'm always going to be around, and who knows? This might be a regular thing. It might not be. I don't want to go back to just being exclusively this type of content, but you might get it from time to time. So you know, as I say, for this is because I've caved under the peer pressure. Now, one thing I have done today, and I'm gonna put it in here now, is I went to see Craig's Here Again's Cave of Stock. Now, Craig's a good friend and has become a good friend over the years. You know, we go to Arcade Club a lot. We meet up just for a chat a lot. More than I see my friends I've known all my life. Actually, he's a good mate. Craig, he's a dead sound bloke, and you know, you'll know him now as a lizard because he goes to these retro fairs and he sells stuff that he's been collecting for 20 years. And there's always been talk of, you know, Craig's 10,000 video games, and you know, he might be a person who thought, yeah, all right, 10,000. Just have a look at this. I went to see it today. It's been on the cards for a while, so and it's a really epic thing. It's mostly packed away, but this bit of footage here should hopefully give you a bit of an insight into what's there and what's potentially for sale moving forward. It's not all for sale. We'll have to just clarify that. So you might see some things here in this footage that you really like, but it's actually for sale. But if you go to one of the markets and you see Craig and you want to have a chat about what he might or might not have, if you're looking for something, you know, he's more than likely got it. So yeah, have a chat with Craig, and I'll put that footage in now. So there you have it. That's the footage from Craig's today, and wow, just the scale of it all is the games themselves. It's like anything and everything for every system. I mean, a lot of that we couldn't show. I mean, it's impossible to show it all. There's that much of it. I moved you a bit there whilst I was just resetting things, and it's quite something. That's a man's life right there. That's a collector's life right there in that unit. And we had to get out some of the statues as well. Craig's got an epic collection of statues, especially the Street Fighter stuff there, and the Zangief being the one that we just had to get out of the box with. That was humongous. We couldn't actually turn it around to show the box. I had to get it out of the unit to show it, you know, and he decided to build it up there. And the detail on those characters as well. On the Zangief, you could see like different colours in his fingernails and in his teeth and stuff. The detail is quite something. And if you're a collector of art, I think they just stand up as art. They really are art. You know, it's pop culture, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's amazing, and thank you, Craig, for letting me in there, and we dispel the myth. It does exist, and piece by piece it may get brought to a retro fair near you. So yeah, cheers to Craig, thanks for that, mate. But in the meantime, what's been happening in here? What's been happening in here? There's been a lot of nostalgia happening in here. I was just thinking, what can I talk about? And I've got some pickups here today. Yay! Everyone says that's what we wanted. We want some pickups. Now the display cabinet, for me, hasn't really lost a lot. There's been a lot of selling. There's been a lot of selling, but it's just been the also-rans and the fodder. So in here, and displayed nicely, is just the stuff that's nostalgic to me. You know, we may do this again soon. I don't know, and I might just do a proper nostalgic, you know, series that will drop in, you know, on an inside video, because it is inside my head. It still is inside my head, and it's not going away. But yeah, we've got some PAL PlayStation here, which you saw running. We saw Klonoa running there. Now that means something to me, that game. It's a big hitter, and it costs some money, that. But at the end of the day, I've been selling that much that I could afford it, so I wanted the PAL copy of Klonoa, and that's what I got for myself. It's a great game. It's a great little game. I'm not sure it's worth that money to most people, but to me it holds a memory. I can tell you a story about when I played that when I was supposed to be a security guard, and I played it one weekend and finished it while I was supposed to be walking around the perimeter. But you know, I was paid fuck all, so bollocks. Yeah, I took a little CRT in. And games within here, like Zelda for instance. Now that, I could do a video on that on its own, but you know, I don't do that stuff anymore. What are we doing Saturday now, down there? So that is a NTSC Japanese copy of Zelda, but if you look at that, you'll see that it's running in English language, and that's because I've put an NTSC US board inside that cartridge, so I can still play it. I can play it in English. And for those of you that might want to do that, the board, it actually fits perfectly. So there is no difference between the internals between a Japanese and an NTSC US Super Famicom or Super Nintendo cartridge. It's the cartridge shape alone that dictates the region. So you can play either of those, you know, in a Japanese or an American system. American, it tends to be a bit easier because there's two little tabs inside the port, and you just have to break them off, and then your Super Famicom games will fit in. But to get an NTSC US game playing on a Super Famicom, obviously you're going to have to hack a load out of it or use one of the kind of step converter things. But I managed to get hold of this. These are cheap, is what I'm saying. So for a PAL copy of Zelda in really good condition, you're looking at a couple £100, you know. But for a Japanese copy, it's like 25 quid for a mint copy from Japan. But it only plays in Japanese language. Now I managed to get a loose cartridge of an American version, and I thought I'll try it. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but I thought I'll try it, and it did. And the lugs inside, so where it actually holds the board inside the cartridge, the little lugs, is exactly the same moulding on the inside. It's just the outside moulding that's different. So you can play American spec games in your Super Famicom if you want, but that's the only one I'll do it to, for obvious reasons, because it's English language. But you know, that's a game I completed back in the day. I remember when it first came out on Super Nintendo, and I played it and I finished it. So that's why that's there. You know, a bit of a spin on the Japanese copy though. So what have I been buying in the meantime? Well, this is something that I have got in. So although we've moved on some of the Super Famicom and some of the other stuff, we have gone for an EverDrive. So I've got an EverDrive for the Super Nintendo. That's actually that Zelda cartridge running there though, and that's got every ROM on it. And I have to say that through the EverDrive and through the actual hardware, the Super Famicom, via the OSSC to the LED, it's all getting a little bit, it takes ages to say these things. I think it looks pretty decent, and you can set your scan lines. You can see we've got nice scan lines on there. You know, through the OSSC, I think it looks pretty solid. Sean Fagan RS500 will probably tell me it looks like dog shit and I need to run it through a CRT, but I haven't got the CRTs anymore, I've not got the room for it, so you know, I think that's the next best thing. It's really sharp, it's really vibrant, some of the games look stunning on it, you can get it set just right. For my eyes anyway, you know, you can't masturbate this much and drink that heavily and, you know, keep 20/20 vision, can you? So that's where we are with that. I do intend to get one for the Mega Drive as well. And I'm thinking about the Terra Onion unit for the Mega Drive. I'm thinking about the Mega Drive or the Mega SD, because that plays CD images also. It'd be nice to have an NTSC US Mark 1 Mega CD under there and create the tower. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go for. They're not cheap them either, they're a couple £100. But when you figure in a game like Snatcher, you know, some of the top titles are going to cost you that on their own, then it starts making sense at that point. So I've whittled the Mega Drive down to about 15 games actually, only 15. They're obviously Shadow Dancer, you know, the Bare Knuckles, the Strider, the Shinobi, you know, it's all there, but I've whittled that down. Super Nintendo's gone down to about 20. And I've actually just started selling off some of the NTSC US GameCube games. Never had a GameCube back in the day, but there are some there that I've played and I like and I want to keep. So they're there. As I say, I've been buying back my PAL PlayStation collection, and that's obviously, you know, standout titles like Ridge Racer, as I said, Klonoa that I had, Metal Gear Solid, which I've had for a while, never really got rid of that. Doom, the first time I played a Doom game was on the PlayStation, so I've bought the Doom back. Wipeout and Resident Evil 2, and a vast majority of those are the double cases as well, which were kind of the release titles. GameCube, as I say, I've taken down, but I've got my original Xbox games that I had as well back in the day. I've kept those, so they're in there, original Xbox. Then we go on a little bit Xbox 360 and the PS3, and I've actually now got a jailbroke PS3 down here, a bit like the JTAG 360. Got that from Brian, how you doing, Beeps? So the JTAG down there takes care of any PS1, PS2, PS3, all regions. So that's kind of, and it's got a fair few games on its hard drive as well, so that's still there. My JTAG's still in the setup here as well, as is the Saturn, running the pseudo Saturn software so I can run burnt discs, the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive. Now the PC Engine is back in the setup. The PC Engine is here, my Core 2 is still here. I've got that in round the corner there. So Raz, my good friend Rasmus, did me a favour and managed to rescue that from Sweden. He brought it back for me. I had to have it repaired and it was away for way too long, but he managed to recover it for me, and that's there. And I have bought back some loose cards. I'm not going for boxed for the PC Engine, loose cards. And I'm displaying those on the little business card holders that Pete on a retro tip suggested. Cheers for that, Pete. They work really well, them. I like them. So you can put them in your cabinet and have them layered up in there. They hold about 5 or 6 games, and they fit perfectly. So that's something. And the main reason for this video and why people have been asking for it is I've got a new system here, and it's a system I've never had before. I've had the brand in here, but not this actual system. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll show the PC Engine stuff first, and that I've managed to get, because I've got a pickup today actually from Craig, and then we'll talk about that. We'll do an unboxing of the new system, and that's got about everything in it. Then, you know, this video is going to be really long into it, but yeah, we'll go there and we'll do the pickups. We'll do a pickups for you. So, PC Engine pickups. Decided to go for loose cards. As I say, I've been emulating the PC Engine through the cracked Wii that I've got down here, and I thought it was doing a decent job until I noticed a bit of lag in it. There's definitely some joystick lag, and definitely some music lag as well, or sound effect lag. And it was kind of starting to bug me. So when Rasmus got me the PC Engine back, I thought, well, I've kind of got that back now. I'll get a few games for it. Mostly shooters, as you know me, and it has a lot of killer shooters on it. This is Snatcher running in the background from the Saturn, but I'm not actually seeing this intro before. I've only played the Mega CD version. pretty grainy actually, that that intro. Anyway, so yeah, decided to go for loose cards, and you know, they're pretty cheap loose cards. You know, even the big hitters you can get for a decent price loose card. And as I only want to play the games, you know, that's basically what I've gone for. I don't like this intro actually. It's not as good as the Mega CD intro. I don't think it's as good. What about if we start the game and I have to plug the fucking thing? No, anyway, bollocks. So, what should we do? So yeah, my good mate Stuart, Tutti UK, had some loose cards. I actually did him I kind of did him a gift really, but you know what Stuart's like, he don't like you to gift him stuff. And I said to him, look, just take it. I gave him the chipped PlayStation 2 that I had, because now I've got the jailbroke PS3. I didn't need it, so, and I knew that Stuart was after you know, something multi-region for his PlayStation, so I kind of gifted him that. And what do you want for it? I said, oh no, you're alright, don't, you know, I'm sure there's something in future, whatever. You kind of do that thing with Stuart, you know, he looks after you, you look after him, and it kind of goes like that. So I noted that he got a couple of loose cards. Well, one loose card actually, and I would have definitely just done the swap for this first card and this first shoe card. But he kind of threw something else in as well, as you know he does. So I think I'm back in Stuart's pocket now. Actually, I might be back in Stuart's pocket. Do you know what I'll do? I think I will start this because I'm interested to know, because it's some really killer music on Snatcher, and I'm interested to know if it actually starts, if the music's the same. So press start, push button, come on, new game, because it's quite a long-winded intro on Snatcher. Some cool music. Could be. Anyway, so yeah, these first two loose hue cards are from Stuart. So he basically said, is that what you want? So I said, yeah. And he had a copy of Final Soldier, and that's one of my favourites on the PC Engine, is Final Soldier. It's going to be one of those, no, I'm not focusing on that, you can bollocks videos. So there's the hue card for Final Soldier. Brilliant shooter. It doesn't brutalise you, Final Soldier, until the 3rd level. Then it takes names. It just absolutely fucking kicks your ass. So yeah, we got Final Soldier off Stuart. I like that, I do like it. And I believe that Gruss Newton got me that, the first copy of that I had. So cheers Gruss. Introduced me to the Soldier series. And I have got one other here, but I still need the Killer App. I still need Soldier Blade, and I believe Stuart might have a loose copy of that as well. So if he ever upgrades, I've kind of asked him for dibs on that, but we'll see. You never know. But he also threw in, as he does, just so I'm back in his pocket, he threw in Dragon Spirit, which is not focusing. Focus on that cartridge. Thank you. Focus on the card. There you go, Dragon Spirit. So he did me both of those for the kind of swap, really. It's a bit of a swap, I suppose, at this point. So cheers for that, Stuart. Great stuff, mate. Now, got those two, and I've got that one. So the next lot came from Retro Dave Nintendo, your friend of mine, Retro Dave. Now I saw this. I saw one of these, I believe, on eBay, and I didn't know it was Dave, and I kind of put a best offer in on it. And so Dave sort of sent me a text straight away saying, Daz, I think you know, you just put a best offer in on one of my games. Do you want to have a look if there's anything else that you want? I'm selling quite a few. And there was a definite killer one that I wanted here. And the others that I were interested in anyway. And so the first one I was interested in was Sidearms on the hue card. Now apparently the music on this, according to Bithead 1000, is better than the CD version, so we'll put that to the test. So that's Sidearms, and obviously you can't have one without the other here. So we've got R-Type. So we've got R-Type 1 and R-Type 2. Now R-Type 2 isn't R-Type 2 the game. It's just the next lot of levels. So I believe on the first U card you've got 3 levels, and on the second U card you've got 3 levels. It might be 4, I'm not sure. Not played through them yet, but that's how it comes on the U cards. It comes on 2 separate U cards. Ah, here you go. That's the music I wanted to hear. Looks good, did it, on that LED? I'm telling you. OSSC, brilliant. Now the thing is, I can't play through it. I can try, but it's in Japanese language, so you'll struggle. But watch this space. If I get the Terra Onion Mega SD, then you know we'll definitely have Snatcher on the Mega Drive. It looks identical, to be honest. There might be 1 or 2 differences, but I'm not sure. So I got those 3 off Dave. Now this one he had listed, and I kind of said, you know, how much for the lot, and he did me a bit of a deal, and thanks ever so much, Dave, for the deal he did me on here. And the last one, and it's the best version, the best home conversion of this game, in my opinion. I did have this for the Mega Drive, but on the Mega Drive, your lives and your score and everything are kind of on the right hand side of the screen, so you get like a 3/4 screen shot of like the gameplay area. Which is a bit of a bummer really, but this is full screen. Boy is this hard. This is much harder than the Mega Drive version, and it's Tatsujin, of course it is. I had to have Tatsujin. Thanks for Dave, he did me a great price on Tatsujin. Come on, focus you bastard. Gotta focus on Tatsujin. Did me a brilliant price on that, so cheers Dave. It's ridiculous price, boxed and complete. As I say, I'm glad I'm collecting Hue card only. That's a big hitter, but oh man, it kicks you in the bollocks, does that game. It is so difficult. And just out and about buying stuff for myself. I got this actually with, I think this came with the Duo R that I bought, and it's a platformer, hack and slash type thing. And the name eludes me right now. You can't drink this heavily, remember. Fucking hell. I'll show this first. So as part of the Final Soldier series, I bought myself Superstar Soldier. That's the cat doing his reverse sneeze. If you can hear that in the background, he's got this reverse sneeze thing going on. So it's Superstar Soldier. Decided I'd get that. So only Soldier Blade remains, and I will get it, whether it's from Stuart or if I pick up a cheap loose copy elsewhere, I'll do that, you know. But you don't see many loose carts of Soldier Blade. It tends to be complete. Everyone's screaming at the screen, including Bithead 1000. Not that he watches my videos, but yeah, fucking hell. This is the first of the 2 anyway. There's 2 get. When you get to my age, you can't remember this stuff. You really can't remember it. But I never played this before until I had the, as I say, I had the Duo R, and I really enjoyed playing it. So I thought I'll buy that loose U card back, and it's quite cheap. I think it was about 10 quid, that, something like that. And no, it's gone. I can't remember. Just leave some comments. Shout at me in the comments below what that is. But I enjoy it. It's a good game. Reminds me of Pitfall. But obviously a lot better version. And this one today I found in Craig's Cave, because I couldn't go to Craig's Cave and not actually buy a game, could I? So he got this out. I think I might have been stung actually. It was kind of loose Hue card, and he knows I'm collecting loose Hue cards, and it was at the top of a box. He wasn't actually. He kind of dig it out. He said, "Oh yeah, I think I've got a loose Hue card," and it's a shooter. And it's Rabio Lepus, or Rabio Lepus Special. And I just went, he said, "Oh, have a look at it on YouTube." So I went to YouTube, dug out a video, and had a quick look at it. And it's quite a fun little shooter, that. I quite, yeah, look good. So I'm gonna slam that on. In fact, we might put it on next. So we'll put the PC Engine on in the background. We'll have a look at that. So yeah, Rabio Lepus Special. Never heard of it. And I thought that looks quite interesting actually. And the character looks a bit like Twinbee. And I like a cute 'em up. So I thought, yeah, we'll go for that. And he did me a brilliant price on it. Cheers, Craig. Let me have it for a steal. It was a steal, a deal. Sale of the fucking century. So cheers for that, pal. I think I might get go down and get a Kraken and Coke. And I'm enjoying this. Not good, is it? Yeah, I'm enjoying this. So we'll do that. We'll swap the thing over. I'll put the the PC Engine on, and then we'll do the new system that's in the room, and then that'll be it. You can fuck off for another 6 months. Give me a second. Let me go and get a drink. Bit of a faff that. Great faffage. So, no, that's not Lepus, whatever we were calling it, Lepus, because there's no music on. It's a bit boring. Cheers, Craig. Fucking mug me off. No, it's yeah. There's no music on the track sequence, and it was a bit buzzing. And now I've got the core graphics running through an RGB board that goes into the serial port, not one of the RGB cables that's got it built into it, but like a separate board that was like 40 quid off eBay. So I bought that and put it in. It's been absolutely fine. I just wondered if there were a problem with that, but I cleaned the edge on it because you can hear kind of some music in the background, really faint, but all the other stuff works perfectly. So it's either fucked, Craig. It's got fucking U-card rot. Or there's no music. I don't think there's any music on it on the track sequence. But we'll see. It looks quite nice though. It looks quite cute. It's looks like quite a fun shoot 'em up. Anyway, while that's on in the background, Sidearm's a pretty fucking cool shooter as it goes. What's the new system, Darren? Now this was a faff as well. It took forever to come. I wanted it before I went on a holiday, but unfortunately Parcel Force sent it to the wrong delivery hub. Yay! Well done, Parcel Force, bunch of cunts. So yeah, the seller sent it to me on a 24-hour and it took 4 days. Still winning, Parcel Force. What a set of twats. And it looks like it might have been Retro Chef. It's come covered in the black tape that Lee uses to send out his cocaine around the country. So that's the box. Now this is I'm really excited because it's a system that's been missing from the room for a while. Now I did have, let's just say it's Neo Geo. Okay, get it out there. It's Neo Geo. But what sort of Neo Geo? Now I did consider AES. I know what he's saying. It would have had to have been an AES with an EverDrive. Which is something I've just been talking to Craig about because it does exist, or a multi-cart, something like that, because damn, those games are fucking expensive. You're gonna have to have, you know, long arms and short pockets for those games. Now I did have MVS back in the day. I did have MVS, and I managed to get a few shooters for it, and that's what I've been missing is. I've been missing a pure arcade experience in here. What's that then, Darren? Well, okay. It's a shooter, and the first few games, well, the first couple of games that I bought for this system are shooters. No fucking surprise there, but there aren't that many shooters on this system. So I thought I'll get the shooters, and then I might look for some obscure, you know, arcadey type games. There's a fair few sports titles that are just arcadey type titles, you know, that you can just drop into, play for a bit, and come back out of, and there's some awesome fighters on this system as well. So, without further ado, let's open it up. Cracky, I've got a bag for life in here. It's packaging. 2 bags for life. Packaging. How's it got this thing boxed up? Oh, it's in 2 big boxes. So I've got, hey, you've got to do a bit of this, haven't you? I've got a Thaldy bag for life. Cheers for that. I ain't got a red one. I'm winning already. And he's also got, is that Morrison's one? Sainsbury's. Oh, Sainsbury's. So he shops at Sainsbury's and at Aldi, so he's there's not a lot else packaging wise in here. It better be well wrapped up, this mate. That's what I can say. So I'm opening this box at the same time as you're seeing it. So This might be, oh, that's the console that says on the side of it, look. Neo Geo console, so that's in there, we'll show you that last. And in here it says Neo Geo arcade stick and games. So I've got a couple of separate things in here. It's not that it's not that well packaged. Oh. And the console is in the box marked fucking games and fucking people, I fucking hate people. Can't you do it right? You can't do a fucking thing right, can you? There's fuck all packaging in here. There's a couple of bags for life, chucked in a box with some cardboard. We'll be lucky if this works, guys. Anyway, so this is not the kind of, you can't even get that right. And he's just chucked the games on the top. They do look alright actually, these. One's in a genuine case, two's in a genuine case. That might not be a genuine case, but it might be a later case, we'll see. Anyway, they're the games. I'm not going to show you them because that'll give away what it is. But what we did have, or what we have got, and I'm hoping they're in decent condition, I'm going to go straight downstairs with the IPA wipes and give these all a really good sorting out. So we've got an official SNK control pad, and these are the ones that are micro switched. You can hear that? Yeah, they're micro switched. And that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't smell like dog shit. There's no brown crud on the cable. That looks alright. That's in fairly decent condition. That's alright. I paid a lot of money for this. Fucking console better work. With some right trouble. Honestly, that's okay. I'm happy with that. I can clean that up. And what he did put in is, I've got a fair few of these now. I've got 3 or 4 of these. These are the little step down converters. Because this is a Japanese system, not obviously, but this is a Japanese system. So yeah, we've got a step down converter. As I say, I've got one that I keep down here, and I just swap out whatever I'm playing. I'll plug that in, you know, to it. So that'll go for a spare. That's all right. You can't have too many of them. And then we've got the power pack, which is a bit weird on this system. It's like the power supply is really thin, but it's got the 2 prongs, so that goes into there, and then this goes into the system. Yeah, it's like got a little 3-prong thing. So that's the plug-in for the system. And then we have obviously the Neo Geo control arcade stick. So yeah, it came with that as well. Feels alright actually. It did say the ball top was cracked, and that is a common thing, but I can't see any crackage on that. Can you see the crack? Buttons all feel okay. Yeah, and it just needs a bit of a magic eraser maybe, and some TLC. That'll come up alright. So, you know, I've got a decent arcade stick to play the system on. So, what a melon. I've entered that and it says the console. He went to that trouble to write it on and then put them in the other boxes anyway. Were you pissed? Fucking dick splash. You know, I get drunk a lot of the time, but I can remember what I'm fucking doing. Anyway, let's put my favourite on. Put my favourite on. Do you remember when games were this quick to unload and reload? Can you remember when games were this fast? Can you? You remember that? Look at that, boom, no update. Just, you're there, you're gaming. Now this console has a reputation, I'm hoping. This is modified. I think this is a modified system. What's that on the back for? Interesting. So there was the first thing I'm noticing is that there's a little toggle switch on the back. This has been modified. This is a Japanese system. I'm wondering if the toggle switch, you see, I'm not sure what's going on here, because the Japanese console plays American NTSC US as well, so I'm wondering if this little toggle switch is for PAL or if it's for RGB, because this has got a SCART cable with it, so it's come with an RGB SCART cable. Quite a hefty one as well actually, quite chunky. But it is the Neo Geo CDZ. Yes, we have Neo Geo back in the room, and I've been missing Neo Geo since I got rid of my MVS. There's some killer shooters on here which I've collected a couple of, and you know, an awesome arcade experience, which I'm missing because of the arcade cabinets aren't here and stuff like that. So yeah, I needed to scratch that itch. These aren't cheap, they were Japanese only. This is a half decent console, I would say. I'll clean this up, I'll mint this up, but yeah, we have a toggle switch on the back. So that's a bit of a modification. I'm wondering what that's for. Leave me some comments below, what do you think that might be? But all the games I've got are Japanese, so I suppose when we plug this in and see how it's working, and I've got space already down here for it, down here in the setup. It's going to go in there at the side of the Japanese Saturn. I mean, what a killer fucking combination. Really pleased to have it. I really hope it works because the packaging job is pretty shocking. And yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll go away, we'll set it up, and we'll end the video with me showing you what it is. But I'll just show you the game. So it came with a few, and they're not all that, these, but it came with a few. The picture in his eBay showed it working. There's a few scratches on the top, but yeah, it's not in too bad a condition. That Neo Geo CDZ. Now this has the faster loading times on the Z unit, I believe, which is why they command a little bit more money. But you know, as Craig said to me today, and I have said, you know, I used to load Commodore 64 games in, so if I can't wait a few seconds, I need to fucking check my life, don't I? You know what I mean? So yeah, Neo Geo CDZ in the house, happy with that. Interested in what that is, because I believe there is an RGB mod as well. So I don't know. I'm not sure it needed regional modding. We'll see. I don't know what that's for. It did not say, and I believe I've bought this from someone who don't really know much about it, but we'll ask them about that. I will go back and I'll say, you do know this system's been modified. I might even get some money back. Anyway, that's that. So the games that it came with, and they're all original, which is nice to see. We've got King of Fighters 94. And I want to ask some advice, actually. I asked Craig today. I know there's a hell of a lot of fighters on this system. Now, I've played some of the Samurai Showdown games in the arcade, and I believe that's Samurai Showdown 3, is it? It said in the advert, but obviously it's in Japanese language, so I don't know. And they look awesome, and I did have a little dalliance with those in the arcade. I'm loving this already. I've got a real nostalgic feeling for this already. And we've got, I believe this is Art of Fighting 3, but I'd have to look. Road to the Final Victory. I'd have to look on my phone. What did I say it was today, Craig? I read it off to you, didn't I? But I know very little about the system, you see, so that's the third game. So it came with 3 fighters, no shooters. So yeah, anyone got any? Craig said that 95 and onwards, the King of the Fighters, they were his favourites. Samurai Showdowns and some others. He's given me a bit of a list. I've got a bit of a list going on in the background now for fighters. Let me know what your favourite series of fighters are. Craig said that he liked the Fatal Furies or the Real Bouts. He liked those, but I want to kind of stick with one series because there are so many fighters. So I might try. Obviously, I've got a King of Fighters there. I've got a Samurai Showdown, and I've got an Art of Fighting. I think that's Art of Fighting 3, real battle action game. I believe that is Art of Fighting. Or it might be Fatal Fury 3. No, it looks like it might be Fatal Fury 3. I'm just looking for the guy with the cap on. But as Craig said, a lot of these, they see King of the Fighters, Terry Bogard's in there. You know, we've got Ryu in there. By the look of it looks like a Ryu character. But I know very little about the fighters on it. I've only ever played the shooters on Neo Geo. So yeah. If you've got a particular favourite game within a genre or within a series of games, the fighters, let me know. Craig gave me some, as I said, some pointers as to some decent fighters, some scrolling beaters. I do like them. I'm hoping to get Mutation Nation, which is one of the games that my mate had on AES back in the day. So I'm hoping to get that. But I have bought 2 shooters. And I have a friend at work who's working on a third that wasn't available on the CDs. We're going to try and get it working if we can. So the first one I bought, when I really enjoyed this when I had it on MVS, was Polestar. So I had to have that. And I bought that from Tim, Bad Fuck Up UK. How are you doing, Timbo? Didn't realise it was Tim again on the eBay. His eBay name's something totally different to what he's... He told me I'd got fucking minutes left. Anyway, I bought that off Tim. So he was selling off some of his Neo Geo, so I bought that off Timbo. Nice to have it from a fellow collector, actually. How are you doing, Tim? We've not seen you for so long on YouTube. Chuck us a bit of content up, brother. Be nice to see you. Says me. Fucking hypocrite. Anyway, and this one, this is a bit of a mishmash, actually. I'm kind of piecing together a cheap version because I'm a tight bastard. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this stuff. Not silly money, anyway. Those days are gone. So this is Last Resort. It's an absolutely brutal shooter. Fantastic game though. On the I had this on the MVS. So I bought this. It was just the front sleeves of these games are the manuals. In fact, I'll take this out and show you. The front sleeves are the manuals because I've got them in protectors already. Got them in protectors. That's a collector thing. So this came as a manual and a disc. But it wasn't in an original case, and some of the early Neo Geo games, and this is a real bastard. So I'm not sure if this will come out. In the top right hand corner, you can see there's a little Neo Geo symbol in the top corner. I don't know if you can make that out or not. Can you see it? It's not really going to come out, but there's a little Neo Geo symbol there. It didn't come in one of those, so it was just put in like a generic CD case. This fetches a good bit of money, so paid a decent price for what I consider to be the manual and the disc, and then I got a loose new old stock, or a rescue Neo Geo game. So they don't all have that, but some of the early ones apparently did, so I wanted it in a proper case. But I've got no rear for it, I've got no artwork on the back, so I've already downloaded that off the Tinterwebs, and I'll print out a really nice quality copy on nice photographic paper, and I'll put that in the back there, and you'll not be able to tell on the shelf. And I'll have myself a decent cheap copy of Last Resort, that'll be nice to have. So that's it, they were the two that I bought. I need to go off and, we're going to plug this in. Should we plug this in and we might be able to work out what that switch on the back's for. So we've got a Neo Geo CDZ. This video's probably going to be over an hour long now. Hope you're bored to death. So we'll put that in the setup, we'll set it up, and we'll just see if it works. Keep your fingers crossed. Right, so I've got that set up, I've got the controller plugged in. Not switched it on yet. I've put Polestar in it. And I've got it running through the OSSC. Now, I don't know what that toggle switch does on the back yet. So that's going to be a bit interesting. I'm not sure whether that's a regional thing or an RGB thing. I know that I have seen ones listed with RGB modded, but I don't know whether that's a thing that needs to be done. Whether this was not natively RGB, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But I've got it kind of plugged in. I just lift you off there for a second. I've got it plugged in, and it's within the setup. So here it is now. We've got it here at the side. I mean, that's a nice duo to have there, isn't it? The side of a Saturn. I'll just show you this actually. We've got my sticks, and that's the cracked PS3. JTAG's still there. SNES, TC, Mega Drive. My one-off stick that I made. So yeah, I think that's a nice little combo to have there and be awesome. But whether it works or not, I don't know. Shall we power it up together? Let's. TC, you ready? You ready for this? You ready? We're gonna power it. He says I'm sniffing the controller. Right? I'm busy, mate. I'm busy. So we'll power it up. So the light's on. That's a good thing. Yeah, and we're up and running by the looks of things. Let's just see if. Polestar fires up. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that before because I've not had a CD system before. Is it going to load? I know that the loading times is something that this system gets a raw deal for, and that's why I've gone for the CDZ, because apparently that's faster. It's a little faster to upload. I'll just get the controller on my lap so we can Make sure the game works. Yeah, and it just seems to be up and running. So I'm not sure what that toggle switch is for. People might be able to inform me. What do you think? Have you seen that before? Do you know what that's likely to be? I did have this on the MVS, and I remember it being really tough. All shooters are tough for me, you know. I'm going to be playing this one-handed, aren't I? Because I'm kind of holding the thing now. Tell you what, let's put you in there. Sorry about that. Yeah, there you go. At least I've got one hand on the joystick and one hand on the buttons now, so... Spilt my bloody Kraken and Coke all over the floor, faffing as well. Oh, shit I have to do for you lot. Right. Yeah, not too bad I don't suppose. As I say, I'm used to waiting 20 minutes. Oh, it's such a fucking cool game, this one. Yeah, I mean, all this type of game I consider an R-Type clone anyway. Brilliant games. The graphics are absolutely stunning. And again, through this... oh, fucking bastard. Through this LED, running through the... I thought it might have to reload again, but it's not. Running through the OSSC, I think it looks pretty good. It's so nice to have Neo Geo back, guys. I can't tell you. You've got to play these games. Badly, like me. So, sat here smiling, playing like Gash. Brilliant though, these games. There's something about them, just the pure arcade experience. Fantastic. But it's slow down there though, but I note that was on the MVS cart as well. Definitely slow down on the MVS cart. Oh. I need some more practice, don't I? But it's playing, it's working. It all looks good. So there you go, some bonus footage for you. I hope you all enjoyed that, guys. As I said, I'm not sure if these will be regular or not. I did move away from this. I've not moved away from it in my private life. It's something that I'm still doing. And as I say, as long as it remains inside my head, you may get some content like this from time to time. Well, this was a bit of a special thing just for the guys that have requested it. Thank you so much for sticking with it. And yeah, you bullied me into it. Well done. Congrats. We'll catch you in the next one.